Welcome to the podcast, everybody, and where I, Wildfang, am forever, and Low Spirit is weird, and Galactic Carnage is here after missing like a billion in one podcast because he's kind of a homosexual. I mean, he's just been working.
That's not.
Huh?
That's not the case. That's not the case.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a homosexual.
I see HR has been needed.
Oh yes, yes.
Sir. No fucking idea.
You have no idea how much HR has been needed since you left. But welcome back, sir. We're just missing one gentleman, and he should be here probably if he wakes up and sees the text messages and phone calls. Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, exactly. But let's go ahead and get this started. So, I've had a conversation with you, Galactic, earlier, and of course, I want Spirit to be a part of this conversation. Only because she's a part of the podcast to meet the quota. They include female black women. So now, stop being stupid.
Wow.
Anyway,
Token black woman.
yes, you are. Don't you forget it. That's the only reason why you here.
Not your diversity.
Probably get me.
Yeah, she's my diversity. Now we, you know what? I'm not gonna go further with that joke. I'm gonna leave it alone. So, what was I saying now? Oh yeah. So we had a conversation earlier about certain types of games that are, of course, similar, and that's Ubisoft games, which are the prime example. Now, I feel as though the Ubisoft formula has the same thing that happened in every game, which is, there are levels. You can't do certain things unless you're a proper level. How do you guys feel about that? Feel about the level system in these video games nowadays that Ubisoft started?
Wow, I don't necessarily think Ubisoft started them.
Who started that bullshit?
I was just saying, I don't think they started. I don't think it's Ubisoft. I feel like it's just collectively everyone was like RPG elements, put it in everything.
Yeah. So, in fact, let me change the question. Do you think RPG elements needs to be in every fucking game?
No, because a lot of games nowadays, AAA games, are starting to feel the same, and part of the reason I think might be due to Sony, and Sony having so much narrative style games, but when you look at Sony, their games are successful, so of course the rest of the market and the rest of the gaming field is going to be like, oh, let's copy that. It just makes sense. But the problem is we are having a lot of people who are, I would say, soulless in their endeavors. There's games that are coming out with these same elements that feel like they're just put together or lazily thrown together. I feel like a lot of those are Ubisoft games. I'm just calling out Ubisoft just to call them out, but I know there's other companies as well that do the same thing. It's kind of annoying now, to where everything just feels like it doesn't have a soul, and I feel like that's why a lot of people prefer the older versions of these games, and they're like, gaming used to be so better back then. It's just because a lot of things feel like cash grabs or soulless at this point.
Yeah, and it bugs me because Gotham Knights would have been a better game if it didn't do this dumb shit.
They probably just talked about Arkham formula.
Yeah, sorry about that. If they had stuck to the Arkham formula, it would have been great.
Yeah, it's just Arkham without Batman.
And or the fun part of combat.
Yeah.
And the most predictable story in the history of man. You could guess the story from about a quarter way in the game and be like, oh wow, I already know what's going to happen. Yep.
Yeah, I just Gotham Knights to me, and I see why it appeals to a lot of people. A lot of people are clamoring for multiplayer games nowadays. Because everything, like I said, has been changed to be a single player thing. And I get why that is bad, because some people like their multiplayer games. But these games are starting to feel less like the developers care and more like they just want money. And that's the concern for me. You know what I'm saying? Not everything needs to be this, oh my god, there's multiplayer elements, there's RPG elements, let's throw a loot box or battle pass system in there. Not everything needs to be just like that.
Yeah. And the battle pass thing is a different conversation altogether that could be had for days. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I remember there being a time in games where you earned everything in the game. And sure, I didn't get to play a lot during that era. It sure was fun to actually, earn the shit that I have. Versus now it just kind of feels like I'm playing the game for a little bit and it dies. If you notice, every game dies within the first month or two. It just feels like that to me. Everything feels not worth my time. Gotham Knights is definitely one of the biggest games recently where everyone was hyping. I was just like, I don't think this is gonna be a good game.
I'm very glad I did not buy it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't buy it, because I was just like, I don't see the hype for it. And I've been playing the Arkham games recently, so I was like, oh, this might be cool. But then I'm looking into it, I'm just like, this doesn't feel like the rest.
Yeah. And to make it even worse, it's just so. The games like that, it's just like, oh man, they added the RPG stuff, and I bet you they switched their stance as soon as they realized that Avengers went to shit.
Well, yeah. So then we're gonna talk about looter shooters and the impact of Destiny and Borderlands. They have great impact on these games now. I feel like a lot of the games want to have those elements in it because I feel like they think it ups their replay value and people enjoy it more and all that other stuff like that. But then when they execute it poorly because they're just looking at it as a cash grab, then look at what we get now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we get a game that's literally so fucking that it's so boring. It's not even funny anymore.
Yeah, it just like I said, it feels soulless is the word I'm gonna come back to because I feel like we're in this age, we're in a weird transitional period in gaming where everything is either a remaster or a soulless husk of itself, something that just feels like it was trying to play off nostalgia. Nostalgia is the biggest word, I think, the biggest buzzword for games nowadays because it's true. It's true. Look at the lineup right now. We have Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake. Everything's being remade. Tales of Symphonia was being remade.
Granted, that game was so ugly. I don't think they should have did that.
You have Final Fantasy still being remade. It's being this multiple year thing that's being sold in multiple parts, and it's not really necessary. It's not necessary. You have games like Halo Infinite is a great skeleton, but it's just there's no meat on its bones. There's nothing else to the game besides, you know what I'm saying? Everything that made it Halo is gone. It's stripped down to its its former self.
Yeah, but people will say, hey, it's actually not that bad, and I go, shut up.
It's a great game. I love playing Halo Infinite, but then there's nothing to offer you. The main thing outside of the campaign was amazing. But look at multiplayer. They skipped out on it. So look at that. I don't know what to tell you. What are we supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? We beat the game. Oh, sure, multiplayer's dropping. Split screen's dropping soon, but not split screen, but the other thing, the co-op. So I don't know. If they expect us to go back in and play the new campaign, are they going to drop DLC alongside the co-op? Is there a reason for me to come back and play the same campaign again? Because towards Halo 3, I feel like Halo 3 and Halo 4, even Halo 4 to some extent, there was a reason to replay it. You know what I'm saying? You want that armor piece that you can earn by beating the game in a certain way.
Yeah.
Versus now, you have this battle pass system where it's more so how much time can I have you on my game, not how much can I have you playing my game? before you decide to quit and go to the next inevitable game in the same genre.
And a lot of people are gonna say, like at this point, it's the same thing about these like passes and all that shit. Like, yo, you can't have everybody playing all the games.
I didn't have a problem with battle passes at first, but then
With every fucking game has them, it's almost like
every game has it, right? And it's bad. Halo. Do you think Halo's battle pass? I think I like the battle pass system.
Yeah, well, you can if you buy it, it's yours.
It's yours, right? But I think the problem is now everyone's putting all their time and effort into these battle passes, and they're not putting their time and effort into what we will be actually playing. Like, I feel like Halo had so many modes back when it was Halo 3, Halo 4, and there was like things to earn in each mode. Now, Infinite, it's like once you complete the battle pass, you're playing the same thing over and over to complete your battle pass. You're gonna get bored.
Oh yeah, and then like the battle pass for Halo though is weird because it forces you to play a specific way.
Yeah.
Because you got to do these challenges and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I don't want to do any of this shit. You're making me play a certain way. That's why people just like, all right, with the same thing when it came to Overwatch, it's a problem. And then the rewards that they be giving you, it's like, we want you to spend money. And I don't like when these companies go, all this is just optional. And I'm like, no, you didn't put it in the game just because you wanted players to have choice. You wanted it because you wanted to grade on people's nerves all day. That's why, like, Assassin's Creed takes fucking forever to level up or do anything.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like, how much time can I take from you? It feels very unrewarding, and it feels very pay to win in certain games, even though it's not pay to win. Like, for example, let's take I'm playing Destiny right now, so let's take Destiny's Battle Pass. If you pay for Destiny's Battle Pass, you don't have to work nearly as hard as someone who like is free to play. Or if you take Fortnite's Battle Pass, you gotta grind out way more. You know what I'm saying? And then it's a coincidence that once you get into the game and you look at it and you're not trying to buy the Battle Pass and you go to the store, there's always an option to purchase levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, purchase 10 levels and for $5.99. It feels very pay to win because if the Battle Pass is the only thing that's keeping me on this game. The only thing that I feel like I can earn something and get a reward from. And you have a pay to win option. So what happens if I dump $20 into the game and I'm at like level 50? I'm gonna cut the game off soon. Like, it's nothing left for me to do. I don't know. It's a weird system right now. It just everything feels like it's just pushing to the next game.
Yeah.
Versus games wanting to actually keep you and, you know, levels of care into the game. And there's like certain developers still exhibit certain levels, like they'll show that they care in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily true every time. It's like it feels fabricated.
Well, I know a company that cares. Called From Software.
Yeah, FromSoft is the main one that comes to my head because they put so much attention to detail and so much love and craft into their game that it just feels good compared to like someone like, I don't know, like Nintendo right now with Pokemon. You know, it just feels like they didn't.
Game Freak.
Yeah, Game Freak. It just doesn't feel like they put the same level of care that they used to put in their game, Pokemon. And maybe that's just because they've gotten complacent.
I know, because, you know, Darkwave brought up a good point as to why they got complacent. Because they have no damn competition. When you don't have no competition, you can put out whatever and know that people is going to buy your shit. The amount of shills, actually, I hate saying that word. The amount of just complete fucking idiots. I'm not experiencing any issues, so this game is the best Pokemon game ever. Well, this is stuff from the prototype, so no one's having these glitches. This game, you know, Skyrim has bugs and glitches, but nobody says anything about that. Yes, who the fuck has not said anything about Skyrim? I love playing Skyrim, but the amount of times where at this point, I think it's a trope, and I think it's fucking hilarious that my horse can run in and out the mountains, and I can walk up a mountain sideways, and all the stupid shit that happens to it. I bring that up still, but I still like playing it. But again, it doesn't mean that Skyrim is the most fantastic, awesome ass, super ass game that's out there. This game is not. And when you don't have competition, it makes you complacent, and it makes you lazy, and it makes you fucking greedy. It's like, well, I'm gonna sit here and like I joked and said the next Pokemon game, it's really just gonna be a box with instructions. Like it's gonna be this Pokemon Maker at this point. Hey, make your own Pokemon game, have fun, and I guarantee you people will fucking buy it, and people will fucking shell out the game.
Yeah, and I said people will make a better game.
Pokemon Maker. You go, have fun, make your own shit, have fun. It's gonna be like the IKEA. It's just here you go, build your own desk. Matter of fact, you need to come with the tools, you need to come with the screws, you need to have, matter of fact, go outside, go chop the wood, everything.
Yeah, and again, people will make people will make a better Pokemon game than your Pokemon game, which would be sad. Like that shit would be sadder than anything I've ever seen before. But unfortunately, like I said, we got to deal with what we got with Game Freak. And then again, every time somebody tries and creates a goddamn game, they always do something that's so stupid on it and it fucks it up. And I'm like, oh, okay, you tried, but you failed miserably. Oh man, Temtem, you want to fight everybody that you walk by? Oh man, it's like so old school Pokemon. It's so cool, guys. Let's have you fight everybody. And the person asks you a question if you want to fight, but then let's fight anyway.
Every game is gonna have a flaw. I just feel like even like games that have the love and craft that I'm trying to talk about, they have flaws. You know what I'm saying? But at least they know what they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of games are trying to be something they are not, or they're trying to tap into different fan bases because they think they might get money that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of sad, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's why some of them fail. Look at the Final Fantasy VII remake. Do you think the Final Fantasy VII remake is as good as the original Final Fantasy VII? The answer would be no. Not even close.
It doesn't have half the content.
Exactly. And he tried to make it appeal to newer people, and it failed miserably. Like, no, you're not going to sit there and tell people who played Final Fantasy VII, put hundreds of hours in Final Fantasy VII, and you're not going to tell me that the fucking remake is going to sell as much as the original 7, which is physically impossible. I even told that to one of the people we was talking to. I was like, yeah, it's not physically possible for them to even come close to the record that their previous game came to. Simply because they forgot what it means to create a full fucking game. Instead, you created a quarter of a game, sold it as a whole game, and then added fluff and shit. And then people are like, well, the fluff is not that bad. What? It's literally like if Kingdom Hearts came out many years from now, and it was Kingdom Hearts like a remake, and they only did up to in the first one, they did Destiny Islands, and then right after Destiny Islands, you get to the end of Traverse Town, and the game is done. And they added so much fluff.
I literally would actually actively go fly wherever their headquarters is and chuck my fucking game through the goddamn wall, through the window. That's to even say if I would first of all be stupid enough to buy it, which I would not be, but still, yeah, I would actively fly to Square headquarters and be like, all right. Go ahead. And yeah, somebody's window getting busted.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just shit nowadays is remake, reboots, remaster, and or open world battle royale.
The only reason you don't see me as complaining as much about remakes and remasters and all that stuff is because I didn't originally get to play the original game.
Now, and yeah, so for remakes and stuff like that, I'm not necessarily complaining because then I would be a complete hypocrite if I'm just like, oh, all I'm doing is sitting here making remakes. I got the Spyro Reignited trilogy. I got the Crash Bandicoot joint, and I got the Crash GTR when they came back out because those were part of my childhood. The amount of hours and stuff, it just brought back good feelings, good memories and stuff. You know, memory unlocked, whatever, that meme and stuff like that. So I'm not sitting here saying that like remakes and reboots or whatever like that are entirely bad. Because again, if they sit here and was just like Sly Cooper remake or whatever like that or reboot, I never actually played the Sly Cooper game, so I actually would fucking buy that. If they also was like, hey, Jack and Daxter remake or whatever or reboot, I would buy that shit in a heartbeat. So I'm not necessarily saying that those are bad or whatnot. Because again, I played Diamond and Pearl when that came out, and I was just like, okay, cool, pretty cool. But it's just like I don't feel as though that I have. Oh, Electro. I don't explode. I have not too much of a choice. If you look at my game repertoire and stuff like that, it's just while I like a variety of games, it's just kind of an ongoing theme or kind of a pattern.
Yeah, I can understand it. Like I said, it's kind of aided. They're trying to aim to people where it's like me. I never got to play Tales of Symphonia. I never got to play the original Resident Evil 4 in the style that I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense, but also it's starting to, like I said, feel soulless. Like there's some developers that come out and make a remaster and they're just very genuine, like Resident Evil 2. But then it looked like, look at the next one, Resident Evil 3 remake. It felt very like cash grabby. You know what I'm saying? Because they clearly didn't put as much effort and time or into it as they did with Resident Evil 2 remake. So I just think companies need to start dropping not new IPs here or there, because I can see why you wouldn't want to gamble, but like start digging into your bag. There's older stuff that you all have that you haven't touched or made.
And then just finding what worked for this particular game, what worked for Crash Bandicoot, that you literally had kids begging their parents to sit here and buy, or had kids like my age and stuff like that, my generation, staying up hours and stuff like that, beating these fucking levels. Which, again, I very much so appreciate the fact that even if they, with the Crash Insane, like the trilogy and stuff that they came out with, 1, 2, and 3, that not only was it just like, hey, HD graphics and it's the exact same games and stuff, these ones was actually just as how as I remember as a kid, how these games were actually kind of fucking hard. Like, it's one thing where it's like, okay, cool, I can sit here and remember the tricks, remember what to do with all the other kind of stuff and whatnot, remember the different areas to go to for the level and whatnot. But I'm like, shit, I am actively dying in the same places I did as a damn kid. This is actively fucking harder. And I'm an adult. So you can imagine if I'm a 31-year-old female and I'm struggling in the fucking Crash Bandicoot game, how it was when I was fucking like 10 or 9 years old. I appreciate that. I'm not sitting here saying, oh wow, I just wanted to remake Crash Bandicoot joint where I could actually, get trophies and get rewarded for shit that I actually sit here and do nowadays. No, same thing with Spyro. I was like, okay, this is actually, I'm kind of struggling in this. And then that's sitting here, and that's fine. It actually seemed like that they not only just slapped new graphics and shit on it, that they actually took time and stuff like that with it. Now, when it comes with that, where they can pull out older games and stuff like that in their repertoire and make them updated graphic-wise and add a few different elements and stuff to that, that then unfortunately begs the question as to how old is old, or how old do you need to sit here and wait before y'all sit here and do remakes and remasters. Can't get Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah,
so it's like
so
that game is still on the PS4. That game is still, I can still play that fucking game on my PS5, and it looks and it looks damn near the same. Why the fuck are y'all coming out with a PS5 version for this?
Last of Us.
I was just about to call for that too.
There's a narrative going on where it's like, oh, like this generation is so leaps and bounds over PS4, and graphically we need to experience everything on this fast loading time PS5 and
Ghost of Tsushima literally proved that yes, you don't need this shit. You don't need to.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was on PS4 and it loaded up like mock speeds, bro.
It just tells you everything you need to know. It's pretty funny to me.
Like it literally loaded up in seconds after you fucking, as soon as you got down started like or teleported or did whatever, it loaded up at my speed. So you're like, oh crap.
Ghost spoiled me in terms of PS4 games. Because I think it's literally part of the reason why I had to just end up selling my PS4 like the week before the PS5 came out, instead of just holding on to it. Because it's just like, there's literally, I kept turning on my PS4, and after I beat not God of War, but Ghost of Tsushima, and I was just like, these loading times, like, they're starting to kill me. Because like I was very spoiled playing Ghost, having everything.
Yeah, it's literally one of the best.
Alright, I'm trying to focus on shooting people in the face while talking.
I understand. Understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, we like, it's fucking weird at this point. And mind you, I'm one of the people that was like, Last of Us Part 1 is $70, and people were like, well, yeah, $70, but I was like, but the multiplayer is not in the game, right? Nope. All right, then you're literally chipping people. Why is it $70? Sony, you need to calm it down. You need to tell your studio to deliver the price.
Getting away with a lot.
Yeah, because Sony has no competition, or it has little competition at this point. They got complacent at this point. They got stupid complacent.
And I kind of wish. Now, I don't know if you guys had deep or long conversations about the whole hello dark wave, the whole acquisition between Microsoft and Activision, but that's starting to get a little bit out of hand on both sides. They're both saying things that are like making them seem so desperate. Like, you have Microsoft openly admitting that Sony makes better games, and you have Sony admitting that they couldn't do anything without Call of Duty, which isn't true. It's just like, it's madness now. And then you have Nintendo sitting in the background just getting away with the stuff that they always get away with.
I mean, but Nintendo really doesn't do it too much.
Well, except for, screw people over on the new Pokemon, but I guess.
It's game for guy Nintendo. I should do Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo is usually just they're still just draconian, is all I really say.
They're a bunch of fucking clowns.
How you doing, sir? How have you been?
I'm okay. I went earlier than I usually do, so.
Just a little bit.
Sorry, we was gonna hot pot later, so I didn't want to do this too late.
Yeah, and then of course we have
fucking times. God damn it!
As you see, we have a wild boy in here named Galactic. So
Yep.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the podcast since 1950.
Yeah, give me like 20 seconds. I'm gonna back out and connect my headphones right quick. Give me like 20 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. What would you say, Galactic?
It's LeBron's first season in the NBA.
Oh, wow.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
He was playing. He was hooping back when Abraham Lincoln was president.
Damn.
Woo!
I was saying with the whole Microsoft Sony thing, right? Like, what do you make of the comments that have been coming out of it? Like, there's three off the top of my head. The one big thing I can think of is Sony outright having to say that PlayStation 6 is coming out 2027, 2028.
No. Ella, I'm gonna announce this now, right? Then I say this, and I say this consistently, right? I'm not buying another PlayStation right now.
Well, good thing 2027 and 2028 are far from now.
Actually, that doesn't that add up to the time frame of the PS4 and 5?
Yeah, I'm not buying another PlayStation.
Not unless the PS6 could sit here and do my taxes or get a job and stuff like that that earns me. I'm fine.
Okay, y'all know me.
You said what?
Talking about
Yeah, I know me, so somehow, some way, I'm having it regardless.
No. I'm dead serious when I say this is the last PlayStation.
talking about me.
Oh.
The last PlayStation, sir. That's quite the time frame, sir.
I will get the PS6 when the PS5 reaches its maximum potential. Oh, PlayStation 4 didn't even reach its max potential, so essentially I will only get that joint if this one reaches the full potential. Or a game that comes on a PS6 can't come out on PS5.
That's still even a no for me.
Yeah.
Even if it was just like, especially even if it was just like, Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be a PS6 exclusive. Like, well, I'm not going to sit here and watch other people play it on fucking YouTube.
Exactly. I'll be like, I'll watch the whole game later. I'm not watching this shit now. Like, but like
other big newsletter thing, headline shit. That's the right thing to say. Big headline about how Microsoft openly admitting that Sony makes just better games in general.
And to be quite honest, that's true. It's just their Game Pass is the best part about Xbox right now, like legit. And again, we had the conversation earlier. If Sony had their PlayStation Now even half as good as the Xbox Game Pass, it'd be good. But they don't put new games on their shit. Like, what the fuck is the point of it then? You're putting old games. Like, yeah, I'm glad I got the chance to play the good Assassin's Creed again. But no.
Then there was also the other whole deal about Xbox basically wanting, with this deal, to put Sony in the box of Nintendo, and where they just do what they do really good. And what they mean by that essentially is like having access to all them popular shooters on Xbox, and have Sony just stick to their narrative-based games, like God of War and all that type of stuff.
Well, while that is true, it's just like, come on, bro.
And then Sony begging and saying that they can't, survive without Call of Duty.
That was the one that pissed me off the most. I was like, you just said you can't survive without Call of Duty. Make your own IP, you morons.
They have Killzone and Resistance and Destiny as IPs.
Yeah, you have Bungie now. Make your own IP.
Well, two of them are dead, and one of them is, well,
that's what we're saying. They should just come out and make their IP. Listen, Guerrilla Games at this point can easily come out and make a Killzone and have it be hot fire. Insomniac Games can definitely come out and make a Resistance and have it be hot fire. And then they have the studio. Yeah, Insomniac has been on fire.
Not Insomniac. Guerrilla Games, because the last Killzone game they did, holy shit.
Well, then even if you say that, they have Bungie, who have created some of the best feeling shooting games of all time. Who can help?
You know why? The reason why Sony says that, and I'm not defending them, because Sony's a bunch of fucking clowns. They say that because Call of Duty brings in what? We'll just say a rough number, 10 million players? Just throwing a number out there.
Yeah.
It's the most mainstream of mainstream fucking games of all time. And if Sony's afraid that if they lose fucking Call of shit for the last 20 years, that no one's gonna buy their beloved little white console anymore. Wrong. People will buy a console just because of the name PlayStation alone.
At that point, it's built to that point, yeah.
They don't give a fuck about COD. At least not right now.
Yeah.
They may care about it, later. They may give a shit about it at a certain date. But not at that moment. They're not giving a shit about fucking Call of Duty of all the goddamn things.
Yeah, it's weird. Because Sony's crying about that. It's just fucking weird, bro.
Sony is I don't want to say afraid. So let's just hypothetically say Microsoft gets Activision. Okay? Phil Spencer, as he should clean fucking house. Okay? I'm talking about broom and dustpan. See, Activision is kind of shit right now.
That's true.
What the biggest fear that Sony could even have, okay, is that Phil Spencer gonna look at this team, burn it to the ground, start over fresh, and from that moment, the games that come out from them will actually be good. And then people will say, well, damn, we will love to play
I just want to ask you how you feel about the whole Sony still fighting, even after Microsoft offered them a 10-year contract, aka as soon as the PS6 come out, Call of Duty won't be coming out on PS6.
Sony, I've said this once, we've said this before. Sony is a bunch of fucking clowns. Remember when I said that a while back that, in my opinion, Sony's already lost this console war?
Yeah.
I do remember.
It's for stupid shit like this. The only reason why people even say they win is because of games like God of War. That's it. In this console gen alone, PlayStation is just now, after 2 years, selling in stores. It took them longer enough. Xbox did it first. Xbox had the better, I guess, they said all the right things. I'm not saying they're doing some fantastic work, but Xbox they said all the right things. You know, they did the right things. They got their stuff in stores as quick as they could in terms of just selling it in stores. You know, they've done seemingly all the right things that Sony's kind of lacked on. Their Game Pass service is the best thing that they have. It is absolutely killing it. Meanwhile, Sony, look at their fucking service. It's all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, and I was going to say something about that. I'm like, while it is great, I have no reason to get it for real because they don't put new games on their service. It's like, yo, what the fuck is the point?
You know, and I'm not even saying there's all bad games on it, but I mean, now are you paying the same amount probably for a year of Game Pass? Probably so. If I did the math, it might be close to that part, to that spot. But the thing is, at least with Game Pass, I know that when new games release, most times I'll be able to have where Sony, if I don't want to play this old ass game, the fuck is it for? If I didn't buy Horizon day one or week one, I'm not gonna really care about Horizon now. God of War, I'm only playing that really as a fucking meme at this point. But that's been the classics thing for free since the PS5 came out. Sony is just they're trying to stay in the so-called we make the best exclusive shit because Xbox doesn't have any exclusives. And they're afraid that if Phil Spencer gets in there, who seemingly is doing all the right shit, will clean up the house, and then whatever original IP they get, Sony won't have it, and then they'll actually have some fucking competition in terms of, you know, exclusives, some exclusives, even though they won't because you have like 7 compared to Microsoft 1. I mean, who gives a shit? Like, my whole thing, who gives a shit? They offered you a contract to get Call of Duty. It's not like you're broke. If you care that much about Call of Duty, this is how you know Sony doesn't give a shit. If you care that much about Call of Duty, Xbox looks at you and says, here's a 10-year. 10-year. By that point, that should suffice well, at least a couple years within PS6 time frame.
Yeah.
If you gave a shit about Call of Duty, you would have sat there, took that 10-year deal, and dealt with it. Done. I mean,
or as a lot of people would say, just make a fucking IP to match it. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Well, nothing will match Call of Duty in terms of numbers. This is all about numbers, man. This goes deep. It's Warzone. It's the numbers. It's all that shit, man.
Yeah, I get it.
You're not wrong, though. You're not wrong.
It's cool. That's cool. But like, if we were to just, I don't know, Killzone, if it was done properly, I'm positive that it would like be fine for Sony. Sony makes their numbers elsewhere anyway. Their shooting game lineup would consist of whatever Bungie's new IP is, Resistance and Killzone. If they would actually just do it, and they have all the studios that could easily make a new game, like a Returnal. That feeling that I get when I play Returnal. I were to
I think you
player game.
But I think you are 100% correct. You know the difference between what you're saying and the Sony? It's you. Gaming is not even about fun anymore. Gaming is about the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
But everything you just said is 1,000% correct. But let's be real here. Half these fucking people don't even remember what the fuck Killzone is.
Yeah.
Shadowfall came out, and guess what it is? A fucking shadow. You haven't even heard Killzone mentioned.
Look at what happens when you market, though. They market their
Sony
their marketing is great.
Oh yeah.
For games, not consoles.
Yeah. let the start
PSP looking at you.
Oh yeah, and the VR.
I mean,
VR Killzone? Come on now.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
They won't do what they want it to do. They want Call of Duty numbers. Call of Duty has this thing called Warzone. Killzone does not. Now, could you give it a Warzone equivalent? Absolutely. But it's going to take the time. See, Sony wants money now. Sony does not want to sit back and wait. Because it's word of mouth. You know what Killzone is. Wildfang knows what Killzone is. Spirit knows what Killzone is. I sure as hell know what Killzone is. But the average player now, if they probably only remember Shadowfall, and to them, that game was a failure. Shadowfall came out what? The day PS4 came out. That was almost 5-6 years ago. You have heard not one fucking peep from Guerrilla Games. They moved on to a whole new franchise. So from the mainstream gamer looking in, even if you heard of Killzone, you probably only heard of Shadowfall. And you look at Shadowfall, you probably played it and realized it was very mediocre to downright garbage. And then you see them, the same company makes Horizon. You ask yourself, well, if Killzone was such a great thing, why did we move on to make Horizon? Why did we make on to move Horizon and never even attempt to make another Killzone? So they do Killzone now. Let's just say it's Killzone 4. Great. I might be a little excited. We all in this chat might be a little excited. They give you Warzone equivalent, right? But to the mainstream person, it's not COD. So while they will maybe try it, and those who know Killzone will obviously play it, it's not COD. So the money that they will get from COD, it may come and eventually, but it wouldn't be immediately as if you drop Warzone 2 with some fucking edgelord skin out there. You know, you're not going to make the same amount of money. It's all, unfortunately, gaming is not about fun. It's not about innovation. There's some devs that care. There's some devs that care about. A lot of devs are just like, money. Companies are like, what makes us the most money? And everything else can go fuck off.
Which is sad, because I was just like, yo, remember back in the day when PS2 games came out, and if it was shit, it was shit.
Yeah. You know, and then you have to ask yourself, how many developers even care? I can think of one. I legitimately think CD Projekt Red cares.
Yeah.
I think they care. Cyberpunk made its money. It made its money. They didn't have to fix the goddamn thing. It made its money. But guess what they did? They went back, fixed the game, give you an expansion. I think CD Projekt Red is one of the very few companies that actually care about fun than than money. I tell you who doesn't care: Game Freak.
Yeah, because they made their money, and yeah, they were like,
oh. Everyone tells me, what about the returns? Who cares? They made their money. On the sell boards, you don't see return rate problems. You see sales. The only thing that's reported is sales. Cyberpunk was an anomaly. In fact, the fact that Pokemon's getting away with the same shit Cyberpunk did just tells you right now why Game Freak doesn't care. So,
yeah,
when you have official websites not even calling you out on your own shit, but they did this, when you have people who crucify Cyberpunk, official Kotaku, they crucify Cyberpunk for even coming out in that state, and you get Pokemon that comes out the same way. And we got, well, despite the problems, this is still the best Pokemon game, guys, and this is a very step in the right direction. Just need a couple patches and it'll be okay. Really? No. This is what we do. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what we got to deal with.
I mentioned earlier that people was just saying, comparing it. Oh, well, nobody's comparing anything with Skyrim. Skyrim had bugs and glitches. Nobody said anything.
And again, I'm one of those people that say Skyrim sucks.
Skyrim has bugs and glitches to a point where it became funny.
Yeah. And that's literally all Bethesda games.
Even its own studio made fun of it.
And that's literally why Galactic stopped playing Bethesda games. They're literally all like this.
Yes, they are. And go ahead.
I would just say I'm not opposed to playing Bethesda games because I mean, there's still some games coming, but like until I get a new Bethesda game, and it intrigues me from this, like Fallout is to this day like the only game I played that actually put me to sleep. There's games Bethesda publishes that are amazing, Evil Within and Doom. I fucking love Doom Eternal. But like at the end of the day, I don't know with Bethesda, so their mainline game like Star. Everyone's so what's that game? Starfield. I don't even Starfield. There we go. That game everyone's hyped for. I'm not hyped for it because it just looks like Fallout in space.
It looks like No Man's Sky Super HD Edition.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
Which
I
give credit to where credit's due. No Man's Sky definitely stepped its game up, and it's actually pretty fun now.
Yeah, those devs actually care about their fucking game.
Yeah, and they decided in their infinite wisdom to fix their shit, which is fine, But at the end of the day, it took them. They didn't just immediately fix it. It took them a brick to fix it.
But still,
they
still put care and time into it when they could have just moved on.
Yeah, it took them a minute, but they cared. They didn't have to fix shit. You can tell what companies care. I just find it funny. Sony, back to the Sony thing. Like honestly, who cares? Like, you got a contract. You don't want them to own Activision because of fucking COD. I get it. I do. From a business standpoint, yes, it would suck. But
is anybody? I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. It just again brings me back to the point where everybody remember when you got a PS2 game, and it was either shit or good. It was just that you couldn't. There was no fixes. There was no come out now, fix later. I remember those.
There no patches, there no DLC. It's just either you had a good game or you had a terrible game.
Yep. Again?
No, I was saying, that's how it was. It was no, here's a patch. Here's gonna be, fix it. Nope, you either had a good game or you had a bad game. And they got lucky with a few hidden gems and stuff that was good games, and it just was It is what it was. This is what this is shit. There's also so many games to.
It's just how it is. That is the gaming. This is what gaming's turned into. You know, I don't like it. I think it fucking blows. But this is the big time companies who just don't give a shit. This is what they do. Sony wants COD because COD to them is a profitable. Even if the show is shit, even if the game is shit, it's very profitable for them. So
Yeah.
they're not going to, they will not.
People are going to buy it. People are going to buy it. No matter how many times 2K, they can change so many things for Call of Duty and stuff. People, the name alone, people are going to buy it.
It's Pokemon. People going to buy Pokemon.
Yeah, it's literally Pokemon. Yeah, the name alone. Again, I joked and said the next Pokemon game is going to be Pokemon IKEA, make it yourself. Pokemon Maker, make it yourself. Here you go. It's going to be a box, instructions. Here you go. And people will buy it and swear by it.
And as I said, I was just like, yo, if they ever do that, there would be people that make a better Pokemon game than freaking Game Freak. And Game Freak is like motherfuckers will make a better game, and then Game Freak is gonna be embarrassed like they usually are, and it's gonna be like, what the fuck?
People already have, and people already have.
Oh yeah, them fake joints like the original black and white.
There's always people who make better Pokemon ROMs and shit than their fucking game. There's even people who make there are people who make Pokemon games with their own custom Pokemon from start to finish, like their own custom Pokédex. They're all ROMs, and guess what happens? Nintendo ceases and desists.
Yeah.
Or Nintendo, Game Freak, whoever you want to say it, they do cease and desist. Cease and desist. Why? We can't have you making a better game than not. We can't have you making better Pokemon designs than what we're making.
Essentially, yeah.
And that's basically what it comes down to. Sad.
Yeah, but again, this is what gaming has come to. Oh man, I can't believe that. Not in the last couple of, I just can't believe this shit. And then we got future games that are about to come out that I have no faith in anymore. It just so happens that Evil West is actually pretty good, you know. But like, I don't have faith in the next fucking in Hogwarts Legacy. That's what I say. If it comes out and it's good, I'm just gonna be like, oh wow, you actually made a good game. Or like fucking, what else is about to come out actually? Damn, son, I don't know. Callisto Protocol, well, I am afraid about that game, but I have a feeling it's gonna still be good.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fine. It's an unproven studio, but it's gonna be fine.
Astral Fallen.
What else is about to come out actually?
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can barely hear you, babe.
Yeah.
Dead Space, Forspoken.
Oh yeah, Dead Space is a remake, so technically for me, Dead Space don't count.
Hold on, you sound like you're a little muffled, Spirit.
No, I'm saying
It's almost as if you're like.
doesn't. Yeah, I'm saying like Dead Space to me doesn't count because it's a remake.
Hold on. Say something, Spirit. Hold on. Say something, Spirit.
Hello, better?
Yes. Somewhat better.
About the same.
You don't sound as muffled. You don't sound as muffled. You sound like your mic is like, it's like you're in the room and the mic is like, say like on the bed or something.
Let me take my earbud out.
But you sound, yeah, there you go. That's
okay.
Better.
I was saying Astral Fallen, Lord of the Rings Gollum, Power World. There's a game called The Ragnarok that's coming out. A bunch of stuff coming out actually.
I mean, yeah, we're jam packed. We're in an era, not era, but like we're in a space right now. It's jam packed full of releases, but like at the same time, everyone's so skeptical of everything because of how the state of every game coming out has been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you blame
Out
them?
of all these games that I have on my list, I think there's like 5 of them. I put games on lists now to sit here and look out for them when they come out. The only game that's on my list that I will be now at this point getting day one is Zelda: Tears of the Fallen. That's pretty much about it. Other than that, I'm just gonna wait till it comes out. Yeah, just like with Pokemon, I would not have spent $63 for this fucking game had I seen everything else first. I would have been like, well, I'm just gonna go back and play Shield.
Yeah.
One thing about that game is at least it was, polished when it really.
Granted, yeah, a lot of people didn't like the game. At least it was fucking. At least it had no problems.
Yeah. This game, I don't. You wasn't there. You was not there. It's just Galactic. This was terrible. Like my review for this game was just absolute shit. And because of this game, I will not be buying another Pokemon game. I'm actually done with this.
That's a strong thing, actually.
It's just fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
just
funny.
like how Dark Wave is done with the Assassin's Creed franchise, I'm done with Pokemans.
Yeah, just like how you're done with Bethesda games, my guy. And mind you, Doom wasn't made by Bethesda itself. Bethesda made.
It's software. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Bethesda made games. Just like how you're done with Bethesda made games. I'm done with EA made games, and Darkwave is done with freaking Assassin's Creed. It's kind of like that. She's on Pokemon status now.
I'm slightly also done with EA. I just have to wait and see. Well, you know what? At this point with EA, yeah, because even the shit that's going on with fucking Dragon Age 4 at this point, this does not look good. So I might as well just I'm not even gonna buy that. I'm not even gonna waste my breath.
I find it funny that we were doing co-op and I could see I saw her battle and she couldn't even see me. I said, well, my game works fine.
Exactly.
I could see her battle. I saw her do the little beam move. I was like, oh, look at that. She's battling a wild Pokemon. She did her little beam and shit. Now, to be fair, yeah, she just saw me standing there, I guess. Now, I wasn't doing a lot of attacks. I was throwing many Pokeballs. But I think I did a couple attacks here. But the fact that she couldn't see me even attack or whatever was hilarious.
Oh wow!
Did you even see my Pokemon out there?
No, like I said, you and was having the staring contest, sir. Was literally just standing there, and I was like, "Do you need help? Do you need assistance?" Oh, nope, can't see nothing. Okay.
Was that mounted? I can't remember.
No, because remember you said that was the trick. You said for us to not be mounted. Because me and Wildfang were both mounted, so I was like, all right, well, let me just get off of my mount, and then I could not still see shit.
Interesting. I don't know. I saw you battle wild Pokemon. Like, oh, you shooting Hyper Beam, whatever fucking beam you used.
I think
like, look at that.
One conclusion that I had was that I think it was because maybe this, like, you joined mine or something like that. Like, maybe if I join yours, I'll be able to see you doing your stuff. Maybe that's the only other explanation I can think of. Other than that, I don't fucking know. And at this point, I don't fucking care.
That's hilarious.
Like, I'm literally about to stick some of these Pokemon in this fucking home box and then bye-bye game.
But yeah, even looking at...
I got hatched a bunch of fucking eggs. Oh, guess what? Today I got a female. Finally, Sprigatito.
Oh, finally, because out of all the ones I had, all 6-7 of them hoes was male. Ugh.
Oh no, that happened earlier. All of them was male, and that happened. I have a shit ton of eggs right now. And his nature is a neutral nature, which I am not upset with.
Nice.
So I'm gonna open more eggs.
while you're here, Darkwave, I did have a quick question. How did you feel about 95% of the games being an RPG instead of a game? recently?
What's that again?
I said, how do you feel about most of the games that are coming out just being fake RPGs or having RPG elements instead of just being a game?
Oh, everyone wants to be like Elden Ring. I mean, RPG elements. The main reason why Ultra Side is because, in some respects, it does give you replay value.
Yeah,
and they think that putting in the bare minimum of RPG elements will encourage someone to play their game again, which is not necessarily true. Your game actually have to have something called builds, which if your game doesn't have like builds like Cyberpunk or Dark Souls or Neo or wherever, potentially Hogwarts or whatever, it doesn't matter. That's just my honest truth. It won't matter.
Okay, and the last question I have, right? Do you feel as though all PlayStation games are the same? All PlayStation exclusives are the same?
All PlayStation exclusives are the same. I mean, I wouldn't say they're the same, no. I feel like I wouldn't say they're the same. I don't personally think that.
Oh yeah, no, no, me neither.
I think they try all the PlayStation games try their damnedest to be very cinematic-esque, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But they want that type of vibe with it. I wouldn't call them the same because obviously Horizon and God of War are two different types of games.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the same. I think if anything, if there's, I don't want to say a problem because it's never a problem. The one thing I will say that's very similar about Sony's games is they kind of all feel the same void, if you will. Like Horizon and God of War almost feel the same kind of like. If there was something you were missing in a game, they both kind of fill that same hole.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, you're not gonna get like, you're not gonna have like Dark Souls and then God of War. They fill two different type of voids. Horizon and God of War might fill two different ones, but to some people they might fill the same void, if you will. This epic story driven, epic cinematic and stuff. So
yeah, I get what you're saying.
In that regard, maybe, but in terms of like just the games themselves, I don't think they're the same at all. I think these guys make, at least in the exclusive, vastly different games.
Yeah, me and Galactic ran into a situation when we were told that was the case.
That they make the same games?
Yes.
I mean, again,
it's just a common narrative though. Like all their games are the exact same, and that's the thing that I've heard so many times, and it's annoying to me because I feel like, Returnal's nothing like God of War, which is nothing like Uncharted, which is nothing like Horizon. But just because they're all cinematic and they, are story driven, everyone's like they're the same game, but it's not.
And God of War, it's. I don't know why they would think that. I guess.
Common narrative, maybe not just one or two people. It's like the thing to say.
Well, what I think. I think it's because people don't have
people don't have the fucking brain capacity to separate exclusives from like AAA just AAA games. Because like if you look at AAA games all year, and then you have the Sony exclusives, a lot of those games that you buy all year play exactly the same. So like your Horizons will play the same as some random like open world game that may not be as good as Horizon, but still decent. That just so happened because you play on PlayStation, you're not gonna have the mindset to separate, you know, the games. So that's my opinion. I think it's because we play so many of the same games a year.
Yeah.
That when it's all said and done, people don't even, I don't know. They just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Because Horizon, like I said, Returnal is a roguelike. There's nothing to do with fucking thing. Nothing at all. Nothing to do with fucking God of War.
No, man. I'm pretty positive that Returnal and God of War are similar. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god!
Look, man, they have the exact. They have wait, what do they have that's similar? Oh no, they have a story. Fuck stories in video games, fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just happens to be a good story. So fuck stories in video games. All right. Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah, motherfucker. Stories in video games. Punk ass bitch.
Can't have these cinematic epics.
Fuck cinematic epics. Because they play the fucking same.
I just feel if your game's single player, it's gonna have cinematic elements, and it just happens that Sony has a lot of single player IP. Multiplayer seems to be the focus of other people, but I don't see why. Multiplayer games can be cinematic.
Yeah, Returnal has multiplayer. Fine, cool. Fucking Elden Ring has multiplayer. Fine, cool. But nobody would make fun of Elden Ring saying it's the same as one of Sony's exclusives simply because it has multiplayer.
People are upset with Elden Ring. I laugh.
And people say dumber shit about Elden Ring, and I just go, that doesn't make. I don't care about you no more. But yeah,
people are upset because it's nominated for best narrative.
I mean, you would get that.
And people say it has no narrative.
Yes, it does.
It does have a
yeah.
And the narrative, I'm not saying it should win.
Yeah.
But it's an actual very good narrative if you just talk to the NPCs and read.
Yeah. You literally have to get your own fucking. This is why I like the Soul series. You get your own goddamn story, or you can collect the story, or the story is its own fucking collectible. That's the best part about that shit.
I don't know why I just thought that was funny, Darkwave. I'm sorry.
I mean, because people don't do this shit.
And Elden Ring is actually
just talk to the NPCs and maybe just read.
Yes, people don't do that shit.
That's what you have to do.
Listen, I'm gonna be 100% with you. I don't do that in Dark Souls games. I don't.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna make fun of you, but if you go, I don't know the story, and I don't think the game has one, I would be like, bro, what are you talking about? The last boss, if you notice when it first comes in the arena, has two different forms. Literally, the first form looks like a female, and then when he lands, he turns into a male. Like, get out of here, son. There's a reason for this.
I think with that, and I think I can slightly maybe explain as someone who doesn't really play Souls-like games, just started playing Neo 2, which probably we gotta get back on that. I'm actually having fun with that game. Yay! But somebody that did not start or play any Souls-like games or whatnot, looking at people rating these games, looking at gameplay and stuff, you would not typically, or at least in my opinion, I would not also have thought that this game had like a narrative. To be
Oh, that's
perfectly
fine.
honest, like not like again. I know you said just just talk to the NPCs and read. Most of the stuff, at least from what I've seen, again, this is me just an outsider looking in or whatnot. It's just me seeing people raging these big bosses, collect loot, do this shit, and then it's a really hard game. That's to be 100% honest and stuff. But again, I'm an
And
outsider.
there's nothing wrong with saying that you're an outsider. But the thing is, what makes it even funnier
Yeah.
is that more so less than Dark Souls, Elden Ring. So when you play Dark Souls, when you play Bloodborne, you don't have your character has like no direction. Your character is just there going listening to a bunch of dumb fucks in the game who happen to either get killed or betray you, and you're just moving and like you're just kind of going with the flow. Whereas Elden Ring, it gives your character has a clear goal. Your character knows his goal from the beginning of the game. He knows his goal. He knows Millennia's goal. He knows all these different goals from the beginning on the onset. Now everything else in between, hell, the beginning cutscene shows you what the fuck happened in Caelid. Millennia had a nice little battle with Radon and said, "Fuck this shit," and blew that shit to hell. So it gives you a very straightforward narrative, unlike the Dark Souls games. Dark Souls games, I am a guy in prison who gets rescued by some other clown, who that clown dies, I have to clean up his mess, I get picked up by a freaking crow, I'm looking around left and right, then I'm just happen to walk here, they're saying, hey, ring these bells and see what happens. They have no real goal.
I mean,
So,
yeah, but Oscar is literally telling you. He kind of tells you at the beginning of that one. Dark Souls 2 is the one where I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
well, he tells you something about being the chosen, but everything in Dark Souls is like a whim. Like, let's see if you are the chosen undead this time. You're like a whim. Whereas Elden Ring is very more direct. You are supposed to be Elden Lord.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that, when you have that plot line, you get Millennia. Your traveler, Millennia. I
Yeah.
need to get to the capital. So I'm going to travel with you until I get to the capital because of such and such and such and such. And then from there, then you hit the lore of, the Radons and Ronnie. I mean, Ronnie's quest line is a fucking storyline for itself.
Yeah.
And her storyline is one of the most drawn. Her storyline, Milena's storyline, those are very good narratives. And you're told everything you need to be told. It's just not cutscene oriented. It's just, you don't have these epic, cinematic cutscenes. You're just told. If anyone says Millicent's storyline isn't good, or isn't like a narrative, I won't say necessarily good, because some people, it's an opinion, but a narrative, then what the fuck are you playing? Like, you go through the entire game. Now, yes, you have to find her, but you go through the entire game learning about Millicent simply because of the fact she basically travels alongside you as you go fight Mommy. You don't know who that is. And then you find a realization that, oh shit, they were, somewhat related, this, that, and the other. Don't get me started on Ronnie's storyline. Everyone loves Ronnie.
Oh yeah.
Her storyline is fantastic.
But yeah.
Like I said, I'm not saying you should win.
Yeah,
I
but
probably wouldn't vote as best narrative, but being best narrative
it's there.
for this Souls game, it's there more. Like I say, it's there more so than any Dark Souls game.
Yeah, the only one that beats it is Sekiro.
Well, because Sekiro is like a story-driven, game. You don't create your character. He has a voice. I mean, that's the only one that like gives you the. That one gives you the. I'll say this. That one gives you the like. I don't want to say handholding because handholding sounds maybe negative.
Yeah.
But that gives you the more direct. Whereas like, okay, here's cutscene to explain it to you, and everything else. You don't really have to look for anything. There's no real true storyline NPCs.
But the game will lead you through the story, as opposed to other Ring and Dark Souls games. You lead yourself through the story.
Yeah.
But Elden Ring actually leads you a little bit more. It leads you into the basics, the backstories of these characters, is what you yourself need to, kind of lead yourself to.
Hell.
But to say that this should not be best narrative, I mean, the narrative of Elden Ring, like I said, the Ronnie quest alone to me was very well written.
Radahn's story for me was also really well written.
I mean, most of the stories were. Millicent, you literally travel with this woman pretty much the entire game.
Yeah.
Her storyline is very, very good in my opinion.
Yeah. Fucking motherfucker Radahn, there was just like, yo, he didn't want to get rid of his horse even when he had the Scarlet Rock. So he keeps it up with gravity. So he can't crush it. And you're like, wait, this man's Magneto? Yep. Jumps straight to the moon. Comes right back.
Yeah, which you can cheese.
How do you cheese that?
Go stand by the water.
Oh.
And he'll fly into the fucking water. There's YouTube videos on. He'll fly into the water and kill himself.
Oh. I didn't know this. Okay. I will.
As long as he's approaching you from like in front of you.
Okay.
You don't want him to approach like from behind you, because obviously he'll just fly over the water to you. Mm-hmm. You want him to approach as if he's coming towards you, in front of you, and the water's behind you.
Okay.
And he'll just simply flop his ass into the water. That's actually cool. I haven't done it because I haven't played the game in a while, but I've seen it done, and that's just hilarious.
Huh. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay. But now we have to move on. We talked enough about the game industry. What? What's going on with my other PC here? Ugh. There we go. Give me a second here. This time we talked about Survivors series. How many of us watched this series, Survivor?
I mean, I watched it.
Okay. Did you like it?
Yeah, it was a show.
Okay. We're just going to go over it, and then we're going to get our asses off here. Because people got, lives. Yes, we do. We all have lives. I mean, Darkwave, you may not have a life, but, I mean, one of us got 3 jobs. One of us got one job that he works at home, and the other one is it's a dork. So
How dare you talk to Galactic like that?
Who's working 3 jobs?
Oh, Galactic, he has 3 jobs now.
Oh,
I Galactic has 3 jobs and call him a dork. That's terrible.
I wasn't talking about. You know what? I'm gonna let that one slide for now because he's not defending himself. So, Survivor Series War Games. We had the first match, which is Team Belair versus Team Bailey. Not gonna lie, as soon as I saw the Team Belair as the victors, I already knew the winners of the second one was gonna be. It was very fucking obvious. Did any of you see highlights or watch that match?
I watched the whole show.
Highlights. I saw highlights of it, and yeah, as soon as I saw which proposal, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. At this point, damage control just needs to be done. It needs to get control and be done.
1 second.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, damage control needs to break up at this point. They're getting, I don't even know what the right word to say is. They're not getting W's. They're getting They're just getting straight L's. What is happening? Like, it is quite, it's quite sad at this point. It's almost like, bro, what's the point? What was the point of this if you're just gonna keep giving them fucking L's like the way you keep giving them?
It's like at this point, are they asking for L's or what's really happening right now? Because yeah, Bailey L's. I think the only ones that so far sometimes don't be getting L's is EO and Dakota, because ain't they the women's tag champs?
Yeah, but they still
Yeah, but at that
lose.
point, that's still technically an L, just with championship gold.
Yeah. Yeah, they still get a lot of L's. They barely win their matches.
It's the favorite letter of the alphabet.
Yeah, it's quite sad at this point.
A big fat L.
Huh. Then there's the next match here. It is AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, which actually was a good match.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, I wish it was as good as their first match, but it was actually still good. And freaking Michael Cole name dropped the Bullet Club. He name dropped the Bullet Club and said New Japan Pro Wrestling. They never did it since they before this. They never named it. They just said they both came from different places. And then as soon as Triple H is like, "Nah, man, I don't give a fuck," they name dropped the Bullet Club instead of just the club. And then Corey Graves kept trying to just say, "You know the club." He was like, "Yeah, the Bullet Club." I was like, "Oh yeah, Bullet Club. That's what they're fucking called."
Or they had mentioned the Bullet Club before, not New Japan, but this is after of course match. I could have swore on a thingy I heard him say even before the Survivor Series, the Bullet Club, because this was like a joint when when Liv was with them or with AJ and shit, and then Carl and whatever. I could have sworn they did mention, or at least something on social media or some shit that they mentioned about the Bullet Club.
No, this is the first time they mentioned it. The actual Bullet Club, which is fucking shocking because it's the Bullet Club. All right.
Yeah, it's just the Bullet Club.
Next match. Oh, the next match is good. Next match is Ronda Rousey versus Shotzi, and at this point, I don't know if you guys have seen it on anything. People want Ronda Rousey fired. She's actually starting to become as bad as Nia Jax in terms of get the fuck off my TV shit.
She's been that way.
But it's gotten worse to the point where she now has a hashtag, please fire Ronda Rousey. Like, it's legitimately hilarious.
So, like, did she specifically do anything? Or
no, she botched.
On the mic.
She almost killed Shotzi in a botch. Which I'm going to have to say was actually fucking...
Oh.
Like, it was like a botch, and it almost killed one of them, so it was hilarious.
Jeez.
Talking about the Ronda Rousey match?
Yeah.
Oh. And the match sucks.
Yeah, the match sucked, but, like, have you seen on Twitter, it's a lot of people saying, fire Ronda Rousey?
Yes, and people blame JD for it.
Oh, wow.
They blame him for it because he made, in his review, he was saying, get her out. He said fire her. He said she needs to leave. I mean, of course they got blamed. I mean, people agree with him because that match was horrendous and she does nothing for the division. But you know, people got to put someone's name on it.
Oh, yeah. I just looked at it now. It says, as suspected, my name is being highlighted in the fire Ronda Rousey bullshit as the one who started it. Never said it, never implied it, but it was certainly inevitable.
Yep. He said she needs to leave. She needs to be fired.
Yeah,
he needs to drop the title.
Yeah, one person said it feels like get her the fuck out of WWE sounds like fire Ronda Rousey. That's literally what people would say.
No, not necessarily. That means she needs to fucking quit. Stop.
That's not fire.
Just
go back.
You didn't say simply fire the bitch. He said get her out. She needs to leave. Meaning you drop the title and then you just leave.
Fire the bitch.
Like he ain't saying Triple H needs to fire her. He didn't. I mean, Ronda Rousey. Plus, who cares? Ronda Rousey doesn't need WWE. He didn't say fire her. I mean, people are going to assume that's what he means because people are fucking dumb. But he never said the words fire her. Not like she needs them. It's not like she needs WWE anyway.
Yeah, if I'm a job corporation and then I just like, hey, well, thanks. So you should probably start looking for another job. Didn't say I was going to fire you. It could be implied that I'm going to. It's just like, but that didn't come out my mouth that I'm firing you. It's just saying you should probably find another job. But the words "I'm firing you" did not come out my mouth at this point in time.
It is all about what you say. He never said fire. He did say, she needs to leave. She needs to get the fuck out. That doesn't mean Triple H fire.
Yeah, he didn't say that. I actually saw the clip.
Yeah, people. One thing, whether you like JD or not, one thing a lot of people do is they'll look at a clip of his video, like a clip that someone will flip out, and they'll say like the phrase, but not the full phrase. So then you, as a person, has to go back, find the actual video, and listen to the complete phrase. And then once you hear the complete phrase, you're like, oh. That's typically how it goes with that man.
Yeah.
Like, he got shit on from the AEW women's division for saying, please, for the love of God, no. He didn't call nobody out. He didn't call nobody out. He didn't tag nobody. They did a Jade Cargill and Marina Shafir match. AEW had advertised that on Twitter. All he said was, please, for the love of God, no. He didn't say Jade sucks. He didn't say Marina. He didn't say nothing of, of derogatory terms. He just said, please, for the love of God, no. And he gets attacked legitimately by the AEW women's division. So, I guess.
Yeah. I don't even like the guy, but like legitimately, Jesus Christ, stop.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of people in that comment said, God, no, and he had to say shit, but because he has a check mark, and because he actually has a following, a legit following, of course, that's the one they go after. I just find it hilarious that wrestlers even waste their time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if you don't like somebody, that's perfectly fine. JD's not for everybody, and that's perfectly fine. But regardless if it's JD, Solid Monster, Bobo the fucking Clown, if you are living your best life and you're happy with your life, why do you care of what critics? Because you're going to get critiqued. You're on national television. Why do you get upset and find the urge to go on Twitter and make an embarrassment out of yourself by confronting a podcaster as if this man is going to get canceled? They come after JD as if this man is talking about Jade's kids and her, actual self and her family. No, he's talking about a television show that you just so happen to be on.
Mm-hmm.
I come at this man as if he's threatening your family in real life.
Yeah, Jay did do that, and I was like, Jay, shut up, leave the man alone.
Like,
it's kind of.
It's not just her though.
It's like.
It wasn't just her. Britt Baker came after him, Rebel, and all this. Like, come on, people. Like,
it's the same. It's you can get critiqued. Actors get critiqued all the time. People are like, hey, I don't actually like this actor. I don't actually like this movie. Then whatever like that. You expect it. It's the same as goddamn wrestlers. You're going to sit here and get critiqued. It's not like not everybody's supposed to sit here and fucking like you. I wouldn't want everybody to fucking like me. I don't want everybody to fucking like me.
I don't see actors going on social media and bashing people who review their movies all the time.
Some of them do.
I don't see actors. Some of them do, yeah. And they're clowns for doing it. Yeah, no, some of them do. I'm not going to name names, but some of them do. But you are a person in a business that has these things called reviewers. These reviewers critique your work. If you sucked in a movie, or if you suck in whatever, if they believe you suck in whatever it is you're doing, then barring a serious situation, when we talk about the wrestling, we're talking about the characters.
Yeah.
You know, when we shit on Charlotte Flair, we're not talking about the real woman.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know the real woman. We only know her as Charlotte Flair, the character Charlotte Flair that's on television. I don't know who Ashley is, nor do I care who Ashley is. I hope Ashley has a very good life and is doing well for herself. But the character Charlotte Flair, who's on my television, can get the fuck out.
It's just same with Jade Cargill. She seems like a nice woman, blah blah blah, all this other kind of stuff. But as far as, you know, the actual persona, like what in the ring, she's still green as fuck. Still has a lot of work and shit to do. I'm very tired of seeing her just always getting dubs and stuff like that, especially against actual legit wrestlers and whatnot. She definitely still needs to improve and whatnot a lot in the ring and everything like that, but it's not me sitting here specifically saying anything to the woman like, fuck her, fuck that bitch, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna just attack you and this and that personally because fuck you. No, it's just, it's critiquing, it's reviewing, it's like, oh, you can't do what I can do. You're damn straight. I can't fucking do half that shit. And that's still perfectly fine. Just because I can't sit here and act in a movie can't sit here and tell you when there's a shitty actor and stuff like that, or when a movie is fucking terrible. Just because I don't fucking act or whatever like that, it doesn't mean I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, I don't know, After Earth wasn't a terrible fucking movie.
Seth Rollins goes on Twitter every Sunday and says he either hates or loves football. Everyone knows he's a Bears fan. Do you see the Chicago Bears coming to Seth Rollins like, hey man, stop talking bad about our team? He said he hates football. Isn't that a critique? You hate your fucking team right now. That's a critique. I'm pretty sure Jade and whomever else go to restaurants or watch movies and say, you know what? That movie sucked. That food at this restaurant was not all that. That's a critique, people.
Yeah. And
you're not all...
To make it even funnier, you don't hear people go, oh, you can't do what I do. And I go, what? If that's always like, it's always a wrestler's comeback. Well, you can't get in the ring, so you still suck.
I can't make video games, but I can tell you which ones are good games and which ones are bad ones. But if you ask me to put one together, I'm gonna fucking scratch my head.
It's not my job; it's yours.
Exactly. That they say you couldn't do what we do. No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can't get critiqued.
Nope. That's just not what that means.
I think that.
Not everybody's a fucking painter, but y'all can tell if y'all like, you know what, this art is kind of bad. But if I was sitting here like, hey, Darkwave, paint, you'd be like, I'm gonna try to paint a tree or something like that. But
I'm gonna follow along a Bob Ross video, I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna follow YouTube this shit, and here we go. But if you sit and see a piece of art and it's just like, this does not look good, you fucking reviewing it. I could go back and look at the same fucking painting and be like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. It's a fucking opinion. It's just like assholes, belly buttons. Everybody fucking has one.
Yeah. But wrestlers for some reason just can't. And maybe they think because
extra sensitive. They get extra fucking sensitive.
Maybe they think that people are talking about like them as in, you know, when you talk, if you critique Seth Rollins, maybe, I'm just using him as an example. You know, maybe he thinks you're talking about Kobe Lopez instead of Seth Rollins. No, we're talking about Seth Rollins. I don't know who the fuck Kobe Lopez is.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that basic concept.
Like, did anyone see Monday Night Raw last night?
No, I saw bits and pieces.
Did you see what Seth Rollins wore?
No.
Okay. Look at what Seth Rollins wore. Now, if I critique Seth Rollins, right? Obviously, I'm talking about the character Seth Rollins that's wearing that horrendous outfit that he wore yesterday. I highly doubt Kobe Lopez walks out of his house in that type of in the ridiculous outfits, especially the one last night that he wore. I'm talking about your character. Kobe Lopez, I'm sure the swell guy.
Yeah,
He's married to Rebecca Quinn, so I'm pretty sure somewhere or another he's a swell guy. I don't know Kobe Lopez. I hope Kobe Lopez is doing fantastic. I know who Seth Rollins is. I've been seeing this man on television for 10 years.
Yeah, because he's been doing a good job at just being on television and, doing his thing, which is fine. But what you're not about to sit here and tell me is fucking you can't separate. It's like the Roman Reigns thing. Like, people can't separate Roman Reigns from freaking Leaki, and it doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, wow. I'm not gonna say the guy's a shitty dad because he's a slightly above average wrestler. Are you nuts? If I was to meet the guy, I'd be like, I don't like your character, but you're a good dude.
Yeah, man, that's what it is. Like, I don't like the Roman Reigns character. I don't even need to say his real name. We don't know you as. It's almost like managers at work. You don't like them as a manager.
Oh no, God no. I like my manager. He just happens to be a cool person. But like, no, God.
What I'm saying is, you may not like the manager.
Yeah.
And in some respect, maybe not. In some cases, you'll learn the person just how they talk to you.
Yeah.
But in some cases, you may not like the manager, but you don't know the person after when they're off of work. You never know. You could actually end up. There could be a manager that you disdain.
Yeah.
But if you actually hung out with them, you probably enjoy their company. Because who they are as a manager and behind closed and work mode could be completely different to who they are when they're off work and just being them. You never know.
And fucking chillin'. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this like a million times. Like, half the time, a lot of them would chill. They just, because they got somebody on their ass, they get on everybody else's ass. It's literally how it works.
Yeah, I always say, when people ask me about management, I always say, as a boss, it is what it is. I either don't like their leadership or whatever. I don't know them as a person, so I can't judge them on that. But as a boss, nah. As a person, it is what it is. I don't know him as a person. But people don't understand that even in that scenario, you can separate because there are a lot of managers who have to do what they have to do to keep their shit.
Yep. And
they can't.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
But there's a manager in my one of my managers legitimately plays Pokemon and has shiny Pokemon and actually cares.
Oh yeah.
Somewhat. Now, on the surface, I probably could get along with the guy on a normal, not work level. As a manager, I think his leadership skills are mid at best. I'm not, I don't hate him as a manager. I just don't think he's that great. I think we've had better. I don't know the person. I don't know the guy as a person, so I can only judge him as a worker or a manager.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Which makes sense.
Same as employees. Your employee can suck, can be slow, weak, but then if you actually met them, say, in a bar somewhere, you're laughing, joking it up, and they become your friend. I mean, still suck as an employee, but you as a person, you're kind of cool.
Like,
you suck your job, but
Well, funny, that sound like one of my ex-coworkers. I'll let you figure out which one.
Anthony? Am I right?
Yes. I didn't know he was going to actually say his name.
Oh, damn.
Just throwing names out there.
Sorry.
It's pretty much
he talks about us when we say our shoot names on here.
I don't care. He's not a part of this podcast. No, he's not a part of this podcast. It doesn't matter. Unless he randomly listens to this podcast. Well, then I apologize. But yeah. Moving on to the next part of wrestling. We got. By the way, I also believe that Ronda Rousey should either stop or just they should probably slow down with the Ronda Rousey shit. This shit is dumb. Like no one cares about Ronda Rousey anymore. We had Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley, in which I honestly thought that was actually a good match. I was surprised.
Great.
Yeah, I was surprised, and I was just confused in how it ended because there's things that bug me in wrestling, and not using your brain sometimes is one of those situations. Like Bobby Lashley, why would you spear somebody in the middle of a move? You couldn't have just waited a second. Instead, he speared him, and just like what?
Yeah, that match was very good. The ending was a little bit
confusing,
but the match was great. I enjoyed the match for what it was. I wasn't, in a way, I was shocked, but in a way, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because to me, it was either It was either it was either Seth or Theory.
Yeah.
The only reason why I thought that they give it to Seth is to give Theory a one-on-one win, because Seth is in his mode of putting everyone over, which he's still going to do. He's still going to put Theory over. I don't see Seth getting back the title, and plus Seth is above the United States title at this point. But going in, I knew it needed to be Seth or Theory because Bobby Lashley was kind of like the odd man out. And with the way they've been rebuilding Austin Theory, I'm not shocked that he won this match. So,
makes sense.
Yeah. But the match was great. Right. Wrestling wise, it was probably the best match of the show. Wrestling wise.
Yeah.
Storyline wise, obviously, was the same thing.
This pay-per-view wasn't that terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the WWE pay-per-views since the Triple H era hasn't been terrible. There's been some bad. None of them have been like top to bottom perfect shows, but I mean, for the most part, they're all been good shows.
Yeah.
They make sense. The right people mostly win. And you enjoy yourself. It's it's not like a slog like some pay-per-views used to be.
Cough.
Like mini takeovers, just not as. It's like takeovers, just not as good as takeovers yet. They're getting there.
Yeah.
One day.
When he added War Games, I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's almost like the Survivor Series one. The Survivor Series with NXT, which is good.
Yeah.
All right, and then now the last match of the night. And the last topic was that was the Bloodline versus the everybody else match, which I honestly thought was actually a good War Games match because I don't feel like when I announced it, it was the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens, in which I honestly knew who was going to win simply because who won the first. The heels, I knew the heels were going to win the match.
Oh. Oh well, Roman wins. Oh well.
Yeah, Roman decided to just win at this point.
So, I mean, obviously, they're not going to have Roman be on the team and lose.
Yeah. But sometimes, yeah, I get you. But yeah, I understood. And it did further Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' storyline, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's too early to pull the trigger on that because WrestleMania is not until April. The shit is it's barely December. Not even December yet, so you can't push that storyline too far right now. I think I finally got one. I finally got a target that's actually worth my fucking time. Thank you.
Oh, you needed one, sir. I had like 4.
No, I have plenty of them. I have like thousands of them. Okay. I wanted one with a proper nature.
Damn, son.
Which one? What nature?
Adamant. More attack, less special attack. Because I have 2 of them now. I have basically one with special attack.
Mm-hmm.
High special attack, low attack. And I have one with now attack, and like, that's what I was waiting for. I've been waiting for proper natures, basically, where it isn't C1 that hits. I have neutral ones as well, which isn't bad. Neutral is never bad.
True.
Now, I don't know if they're what the EVs IVs are.
My little char babies.
But anybody else have anything to say about the gaming world and the wrestling world? I like how Galactic disappeared, by the way.
Yeah, I said he disappeared.
I don't have anything else to say.
All right.
Not I.
All right, good. Tie-dye, night-eye. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We have some hot potting to do, and I will catch you on the next podcast, which the next podcast should be the last one of the year, because that's going to be the awards, in which we talk about all the awards of the shit that happened this year, because nothing else is coming out. And technically, Callisto Protocol cannot be counted, which is hilarious. Nor can Midnight Suns, but yeah. Yeah, because they came out in December. You can't really count those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, we gotta do what we gotta do. But all right, guys. See you in the next and final podcast for the year, and then we're gonna start up. We're near the Royal Rumble again. Yeah.
Boy.
Sweet. Finally have a female Sprigatito.